How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and welcome to the penultimate update news video of the year. It's been an amazing year so far for both World of Tanks console coming back from the update 6.0 and also for my channel and just this community as a whole. I've been really enjoying the year, but let's get into the video. Let's show you what the update news has. There's plenty of interesting stuff for this week on World of Tanks, and also they've given us some pretty interesting statistics for the year as well. So let's get into those now and see what actually is coming this week. So first things first, we have this week we basically got some fixes to a couple of things, not massive stuff. It's basically like some cosmetic stuff, and also crushing damage fixed when landing a tank on top of another. So when you actually, say if you jumped off some sort of ledge onto another tank, you're going to be able to deal damage. Yeah, that's all back to the game. And there's also some events going on right now that obviously you can get hands-on with. We've got the brand new Cold War heavy tanks within the game from the British line, so all the way up to the Challenger 2, which is doing over 2,000 more damage on average than any other Cold War heavy currently. 58.6% from the Challenger. Yeah, I think Wargaming may have just got the balancing features of the tanks just slightly wrong, because even when they release absolutely broken tanks, they're never as high as 55 or 58.6%. It's not looking too good, but anyway, regardless of that, we also got the season tanks. If you want to check out what the season tank, the FV4211, is actually like, you can have a look at a review video that I'll link at the end of this video, and you can have a look and see whether this is any good. And trust me, it's such a good tank to actually play. It's a really good one to actually grind out. That's coming from someone that doesn't particularly like the Cold War game mode, but yeah, it's definitely a tank that I found enjoyable. That can't be the said for a lot of the tanks within Cold War for me personally. Anyway, December challenge, we have the HMH AMX M4 Emily 49. 6,296 of you have already earned the tank, which is amazing. Yeah, congratulations to anyone who's completed it. I think I'm still quite a way off, probably over 100 points away, but we still have around 10 days before it ends, the recording of this video. So if you haven't already completed the HMH AMX M4 MLE challenge, make sure that you get your head down and try and get that, because yeah, it's a free premium tank. Don't worry if you can't. You don't have to sweat it out during Christmas. Just take it easy, and if you can get there, then it's a nice bonus. Obviously, the Tusk was released as well, so we have that mercenary tank contract live. To be honest with you, just continue with the Chisel if you've already got that, as we've talked about in some of the previous videos. And we also have the Naughty or Nice random drop awards, a random drop on the first win of the day. There were 717,000 drops claimed already, so yeah, that's basically 717,000 different games played on a tank of the first win of the day. So that's something I want to clarify. It's on the first win of the day, not the first win of the day period on your account. It's on each tank, so you can get the drop multiple times. Anyway, not only that, the 12 days of Tanksmas op. More days you complete, the better your reward. Be sure to log on and claim your haul between January 4th and the 31st. So make sure that you just do that. You get some key cards. It's pretty nice. It's not going to take you long. It's basically just getting some pretty simple challenges, and there's 12 of them to complete, obviously, given the 12 days of Tanksmas. Now, not only that, this is where it becomes interesting, and trust me, there are some big times for you to jump on, complete the season super quickly, which you can definitely do. And we'll talk about that in just a second, but we have just a huge list of information to actually cover through and give you an idea as to what sort of things you can expect. And that is basically coming in the form of this Tuesday. We're going to be getting some massive kind of changes to the game in terms of some challenges, not gameplay changes, just some challenges, events and stuff like that you can get your hands on. And the first one being that the Holiday Garage and Happy Holidays game mode is going live on Tuesday, so you will be able to play the toy tank mode that Wargaming have every year, roughly. I don't know if they did it last year, but I know that this year they'll probably be bringing it back, so that'll be an interesting one to play. Don't know whether it's going to be exactly the same playing that little toy tank, but I'm sure we'll cover a video for you going in that to just showcase what it's all about. But anyway, not only that, we have the new 3D commander, so you can pick up Santa and Krampus. Whether or not you want to spend about 4,000 gold per one, don't know, but there you go. You can pick up some premium 3D Santa and Krampus commanders. I've also got new holiday theme skins for Krampus Claw for the mouse and Santa's sleigh for the T28 concept. And the T28 concept offered in the Santa Needs New Tracks earn operation. So you'll be able to pick up a free skin for the T28 concept. Tank isn't particularly very good, and unfortunately, if you don't actually own the T28 concept, it's not really going to help, and it's not a particularly great tank that I would really overly promote you going out and buying, because, yeah, it's a tier 7 that's basically relies on armor, but you know how armor works within World of Tanks console modern armor, and yeah, it doesn't really work. Anyway, we've got a couple of other things as well, which is the string theory, and this is probably one of the biggest things for any of you lot grinding tech tree tanks right now and grinding out some XP, whether that be for your tech tree, whether that just be so that you can convert the XP, I don't know, whatever you're doing. And also for those of you grinding through the season pass or any challenges, string theory allows you to get multiple times XP depending on how many wins in a row you can string together. So obviously you're not going to be able to consistently win every single game in a row unless you're like infinitely good at the game. Even someone that's played 21,000 battles like myself, I can probably string together maybe 6 or 7 on my own. Obviously, if you're platooning up with players that know what they're doing as well, you can basically guarantee that you're going to win a lot more games, because essentially you've got 3 players playing very well as opposed to 1 player, because you can only do so much yourself. So what you want to be doing this Christmas, if you've got any friends that play, make sure that you're getting in, make sure that you're platooning up, use a bit of your holiday time and just basically play the game together. Try and get those wins, get as many in a row. That will offer you the bonus XP boost within the game. So you'll basically be able to get maybe ×2, maybe ×3 as you go through. Say if you get 3 wins in a row, you get 3 times XP. If you get 4 wins in a row, you get 4. And then finally, it caps out at ×5 XP, which is for 5 wins in a row. And if you can continuously get 6 wins, 7 wins, you'll get basically 5 times XP every single time after that, which does count towards your operations and challenges, which means if you're going for your season pass and you've got, 4,500 to get 1 point, if you can consistently get 3 times XP, 4 times XP, you're going to be able to get 1 point nearly every single game. So that is massive. You're going to be able to really complete the season pass without even having to do any of the previous challenges, like the weekly challenges. You'll just be able to do it from playing the game, which is something I used in one of the previous seasons, where you could basically use string theory to just cram in a load of XP to be able to then just boost yourself through the levels. And it maybe took me over the course of a weekend, literally got me from maybe rank 40 all the way up to 60. So that's something you want to be using within the game if you possibly can, and definitely jump in with your friends. It's not only just because you'll have a better chance of winning, it's always better with mates playing this game. Other than that, we also have the stocking stuffer random drop earn. Get extra goodies for winning in the event mode. So event mode obviously being the happy holidays mode, you'll basically be able to get extra random drops. Now, it's Wargaming. These tanks aren't going to be particularly amazing. You know how it's going to be. It's probably going to be a couple of premium consumables, stuff like that you can get from this. Obviously, we'll check that out on Tuesday as of the release, what the actual rewards are, and we'll go through that for you. So make sure that you are subscribed and like this video if you want to see some more as soon as that does get released. Now, there is a new premium tank for World War II, and it's the K91-2. So, obviously, K91 being a tier 10 medium for the Soviet line, you've now got the K91-2. Don't know how or how particularly amazing this tank is. I don't know if we have any thumbnails, although we do, which we'll check out at the end of the video. But basically the K91-2 is going to be your typical Soviet medium tank. Obviously, you can see some of the pictures here if we can. This is Krampus, obviously. A very interesting looking skin. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. And then obviously Santa here. But yeah, I think the K91-2 seen probably here is a pretty cool looking one. It looks very much like the Guard. I think it will probably be the Guard, essentially a non-skinned version. Yeah, it will probably be slightly different, but you know, it essentially plays in the same sort of way. I think it'll be an interesting one. We'll do a full tank review when it does get released and showcase whether or not this tank is actually worth it in game, obviously for you to purchase if you want to check that out on probably Wednesday or Thursday next week. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. And then we do have a free holiday tank, the BT5 Tier 3 Soviet light tank, which is, of course, this one right here. Trust me, it's not going to be good. It's Wargaming's typical free tank at the end of the year. Everyone gets a free holiday tank, and it's basically just a garage slot that you can get rid of, or alternatively just stack it in your garage and never play it. Then we do have a premium tech tree discount of 40% off all tanks unlocked in the premium tech tree, which of course does not apply to tier 9 or 10 or Cold War era 2 or 3. And it's 20% off Black Crimson Cold Steel tanks. So there's 40% off all of the normal premiums within the game, and there's 20% off all of the Black, Crimson and Cold Steel tanks. So when we were talking about Wargaming not really giving some interesting bundles this week, as of the recording of this video, the previous week, next week is going to be massive in terms of if you want to pick up some premium tanks. Definitely take advantage of the 40% off if you do want to pick up premium tanks that you've been looking at for a while. This is probably the best one since you can actually pick the tank rather than having to wait for it to come in a bundle. Obviously, then, as with all of the sales, we now have 50% off camo and cosmetics, which is really, really good. Make sure that you apply your cosmetics and camo next week through to January 4th. Obviously, when you do the 50% off camo, make sure that you purchase the 30 days of camo for the silver, because that will basically allow you to have it for the longest time. Obviously, don't do it in a tank that you're probably going to get rid of in a couple of days. But yeah, definitely a good time to do that. Then we also have the New Year Premium Sale where you can get 50% off 360 days of premium. Trust me, if you haven't got premium time within World of Tanks, this is one of the most influential things you can spend any of your money on. 50% off 360 days of premium. It's probably in the region of about £35, and this will last you for, obviously, the whole of the year, plus all of the time that you get in between then added on from premium days from the season pass and all of the extra challenges that you may complete. So essentially, in every year, you can probably guarantee yourself about 400 days worth of premium guaranteed from all of the extra operations as well. But make sure that you do get premium time if you haven't already and you do have the money to spare. I'm not going to force you to buy premium if you haven't got the money, but it is, if you're going to spend any money on the game, probably one of the best things you can buy. Wouldn't recommend buying anything other than the 360 days because 25% saving unless you actually wanted it in the first place. But if you didn't actually want it, don't purchase any of the lower ones because they're just not worth it. 25% discount is not enough. And I'd rather just you either go big or go home with your money. Definitely don't go purchasing any of the other ones. They're just a bit too expensive for my liking, unless, of course, you want to. Then we also have the free XP conversion discount of 1 to 35, so you get an extra 50% more free XP every time you convert one from gold. You've also got silver 1 to 600, which gives you more silver every single time. The new premium, the 3D commanders, Phantom of Fallon and Vasquez, also coming in. in the Sleigh Bells bundle. We've also got a full nation on-track event for the World War II US tank tech tree line. So every single tank in the US tech tree you will be able to get for 25% XP and 50% silver discounts on tiers 3 to 6 and 30% off on tiers 7 to 10. So this is big for any of you grinding through the US tech tree line, and if you want to be able to do that, then make sure you do. It's going to be really good event for you guys, and overall this kind of week in World of Tanks is going to be a good one for anyone that actually wants to grind through tech trees, which is something that we don't see very often within World of Tanks Modern Armour. Now, obviously, we've got the recent fixes as well for the contracts. So there's been a few problems with it. It's basically a couple of things where they've basically... You can basically look if you want to have a look. I'm not going to go through every single minute detail of the contract fixes. It's basically that they've updated a few graphical errors that were going on in terms of the days left and stuff like that that were showing up, and there's just a few minute details. Obviously you can check all of those out now, but we'll move on to the statistics of the year so far. Now, this is where it becomes quite interesting in terms of just seeing how many games people have played over the last year. And we've got the full total quick stats of 2021 up as to today, which is the 19.274 million games have been played. 19.274 million games within this last year played on World of Tanks console Modern Armour, with the most played map being Mines, with 1.8 million matches on the map. Then we've got 140 million battles played in medium tanks. Wow, that's just ridiculous, which doesn't believe to be right, because unless that's to date in terms of the entirety of every single year. We've also got then most popular consumable being a medkit with 204 million uses, a fifth of a billion uses using the medkit. We've then obviously got most popular emblem with Flag of Germany with 37,000 purchases, and the most popular inscription is The Last Stand with 9,114 purchases, and the most popular tank skin is the E100 skin. There's no surprise really there, that's just an iconic tank in the first place. And then we have early next year the Cold War Brits Part 2 light tanks and TDs. So we will be seeing Cold War British light tanks. Oh god, are they going to be like the Armadillo? I really hope not. If they do, it's going to really ruin the Cold War game. And let's just hope Wargaming do manage to balance the Cold War British tanks number 2 this next time when they come in. And there will be early next year the French-wheeled premium tank, the Panhard EBR 75 FL10 and French Legion 3D commander Claude Lalibert Dubois. So you'll be able to actually pick that bloke up if you want to as part of a 3D commander. And there is also the fact that with the release of a premium wheeled vehicle, wheeled vehicles will be coming very, very soon. And not only that, we've also got a Tank Ace competition to see where you rank among your peers in a selection of tier 10 vehicles and earn prizes for placing in the top 100 on the leaderboard. So yes, you will be able to compete in a challenge to become one of the top 100 players playing in your vehicle. Then the machine contract will be coming in mid-January, so obviously keep an eye out for that. You probably want to have the chisel operation completed before then, or the tusk alternatively before mid-January, so that you can really crack on with the machine. That's what I'm going to be doing, hopefully. And then we've got the tanks reforged, taking a break over the holiday, but we'll be back in mid-January. Remembering the clue is hefty baguettes, which is probably going to be the heavy French tanks within the game, so the AMX M4 line all the way through to the heavy tanks. Other than that, we also have the class-based matchmaking test number 2, January 21st to 24th. We've also got the next maps to return in February being Nomenhun, Hidden Village, Pearl River, and Great Wall, which are all fantastic maps in their own regard, and I'm looking forward to actually getting my hands on a couple of these once again in the game. They're not new ones, they're just revamped versions, but we'll call them new because they are kind of, it's a shady topic, but there we go. Obviously, new maps or next maps coming back into the game are these 4 right here. We've also got other, which is the no displays of marks of excellence on the tank for Arctic Hiss due to licensing, so that you can't actually put marks of excellence on the Arctic Hiss because that's fun. Typical licensing issues. The next trading event is coming in January. Obviously, avoid trading events. That's my personal opinion. I've done plenty of videos on avoiding the trading event within the game. It is kind of a bit of a con where you trade in a premium tank that you already own for half of a discount of a tank that's full price, which you would have probably got a discount on if you just waited a couple more weeks, etc. Yeah, it's just an odd event and I don't think it works very well. And then colour filters will receive a review early next year. So for any of you thinking about the game and the colours being very grey washed and just whitewashed and just, they'll be looking back at how to change those within the next year and early next year. And then True Vision on or off will be added as an option to custom games only. So we will not be seeing any True Vision within World War II or Cold War changes. So there we go. Other than that, that is everything for this week news. Hopefully you did enjoy it. And if you have any comments, make sure to leave those in the comment section down below. What do you like? What do you dislike about what's coming up in the next couple of updates? And of course, if you don't watch another video before Christmas, I really do hope you have a fantastic Christmas. And I hope that you'll join me back in the next video. Goodbye.